obviously there's the man, the myth, the legend, Rashford.
Pele,
Sir
you mean?
Marcus Rashford.
Think you mean
Yeah,
Pele?
Pele.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're calling him Pele for some reason, but I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to BlaugranaEverything, and welcome back to the channel and the podcast. This is mostly for the podcast, but I don't know if it'll hit the channel like early enough because life, people, life. Anywho, like I said in my last upload, I am going to be sitting down now with a Manchester United fan, and we're going to be talking about the upcoming blockbuster Europa League, which feels like Champions League tie between FC Barcelona and Manchester United at Old Trafford, of course. And I have a friend to join me here. But before I introduce him, if this is your first time tuning in here, if you're a first time listener, please do hit subscribe. And if you can, leave a review, a good one, a nice one, because I'm a nice person. Okay, just do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we do have ladies who listen to this. All right, must be because of my sultry voice or my devilish good looks. But anywho, I'm now going to introduce a friend of mine, really, and a friend of the podcast. His name is Daniel, and Daniel is actually he's into the whole social media thing as well. Though he's not got like a football podcast thing going on. Though he's a gamer though. So Daniel, welcome.
Thank you for having me. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, everybody who is me right now is great. Anywho, like if you want, you can just tell us briefly about your channel as well, where people can find you, just briefly, and what you do there.
Okay. Yeah. So as you have already heard, the name is Daniel, but when I'm on social media, I usually go by my gamer tag, ZombieKlassic. ZombieKlassic, one word. Classic with a K. So ZombieKlassic, no space. Classic with a K, very important.
Yeah, because we're keeping it classy.
Yeah, there we go. No, dude. Yeah, so so if you wanna check out the stuff that I do, I usually stream. I mostly do gaming content. Not mostly, I just do gaming content on YouTube. Mostly Mortal Kombat. For those that are huge fans of NRS titles like Injustice and Mortal Kombat, you will find that Mortal Kombat 11 mostly, because that's what gets the most views. Occasionally I'll jump onto FIFA. I don't play that much for reasons that I cannot discuss here, for fear of being banned on this channel. But
okay.
I play FIFA. Yeah, and occasionally mission games. I love mission games. So yes, if you're looking for my channel, just look for ZombieKlassic on YouTube. You will find all the amazing stuff there. If you want, I'm on Twitter as well. Just at ZombieKlassic. Just that. I'm only found on Twitter, unfortunately. I'm not a fan of the others. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, ZombieKlassic people.
The C at the end of classic is a C, but just classic, the first word. The C is replaced with a K.
Okay.
No space.
Cool. So yeah, everybody, that's where you can find Daniel. For those days when you do want to just sit back and watch some people playing violent video games. Yeah,
all those lovers of violence, I got you.
All right. Okay. We're here though to talk football and not gaming. Maybe one day we'll talk gaming. I don't know. Like when there's a BlaugranaEverything game out there. We'll definitely talk more gaming. Yeah, but
looking forward to it.
You're here in big part because you are a Manchester United fan. I think you're the longest serving Manchester United fan I know. Was it longest suffering at some point as well? So that's what we're going to be talking about.
Serving,
huh? Okay. So yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, last week we saw that first leg that was played, Camp Nou, and just to go over it for those who maybe were born yesterday, And for those who maybe didn't just watch it or haven't yet heard the news, it ended as a 2-2 draw between FC Barcelona and Manchester United. And on the balance of play, I think most people do agree that Man United definitely looked like the better team for huge chunks of that match. For people like me, Barca fans, we were a bit like, what's going on? What's with these tactics? But like, what were your thoughts yourself as a United fan on that game?
Yeah, my thoughts were just I felt like we deserved to win that game. Not because we obviously, especially in the second half. Well, apart from the last 10 minutes when Barca just went crazy on us, I feel
Hmm.
like we deserved to win because of when I saw the team news, especially at the back. I was so happy to see that team news. Yeah,
See Alonso and Jordi Alba lined
yeah,
up
yeah.
next to each other
Alonso, Jordi Alba, Araujo on the right.
on the right. Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me. That is the best defender in the world right now, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then Martinez is a distant second. Who didn't play that game because he was suspended. But yeah, I felt like United deserved to win that game. We
Mhm.
missed a bit of chances, like clear cut chances.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, just that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree on most of what you said. Even the Martinez stuff, because I think um, those who've been Barca fans long enough, they do remember that. Like just after we signed Frankie De Jong, there was a push to get Martinez from a lot of coolies. Like a lot of Barca fans were like, "Get Martinez, get Martinez." So naturally, we signed Longley, and yeah, you know how life goes from there. But anyway, moving on from all of that. Um, what we're going to
I
be
did
looking
not
at this
know.
time
Sorry,
around.
sorry. I did not know that Barca wanted Martinez. This is news to me.
Oh, you didn't? No, yeah, we we,
No.
we did. Especially, no, actually, sorry, it wasn't the season before we signed Longley. It was before we signed Eric Garcia. That's the
Oh,
season
okay.
when there was really a lot of talk of saying get Lisandro Martinez, get Lisandro Martinez. Maybe it was connected to the fact that we also tried to get Ten Hag back then before getting Coleman, So like there's really been just like a lot of this stuff going around. So definitely it's very worrying news for us that he's back in this game at Old Trafford, and with that whole, atmosphere that Manchester United can get going there. And that probably maybe it segues nicely into like the next thing I want to talk about, which is looking at some of the players who will be and who won't be available for this game. So like from
Mm.
the Barcelona side, it's pretty obvious just from watching the last leg. There's now going to be Pedri and Gavi, in addition to guys like Dembele as well being out. And the only sort of silver lining I would say is that there is a possibility Busquets might be able to start, but then looking at how good United's press is right now, to be quite honest, it's a bit it's questionable whether or not you should even play someone who's just returning from an injury. So, like, well, what's the news like for Man United? Like, who else is going to be available after the match last week, which I do know United had a lot of players unavailable.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Where do I even start? Let's see. For no reasons at all, I'll start with Casemiro. Casemiro, obviously, starting,
Mm,
and Sabitzer. Those two in midfield, I think, will boss the game. I just feel like I'm really looking forward to seeing Casemiro and Sabitzer play together. I've not seen that. I think every Manchester United fan is looking forward to that.
mhm.
At the back, I
You
think he's
think
gonna
that would
go
work
with.
better than
Please don't go Luke
Casemiro
Shaw
and
as centre
Fred
back.
did
I know he's
last
been
week?
decent, but this is a very important game. So just go with your usual
Hello?
suspects: Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Then Luke Shaw, because he's good at crossing. Malacia is
Mm,
not forward thinking. He's a decent defender,
mm,
but he's not forward thinking. He does too many back passes for my liking. So for that reason alone, Luke Shaw should play the left back because you've got the ghost himself, Wout Weghorst. Uh, even though he doesn't score much, I love his energy and his attitude. Like his work rate is very impressive, and I'm really looking forward. I'm really hoping. I was hoping on Saturday he scored, but life happens. But I'm really looking forward to just getting more balls in the area, in the 18 area, just for Veghorst. And obviously, there's the man, the myth, the legend, uh, Rashford,
Pele,
Sir
you mean?
Marcus Rashford.
Think you
Yeah,
mean
Pele.
Pele?
Yeah, Pele.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're calling me Pele for some reason, but I think that's a bit of a stretch.
No, it's. I
Yeah,
think it's from an ongoing Twitter kind of sort of
I saw
ongoing
that.
joke on Twitter. Yeah, the
Yeah,
whole
I saw
Woko
that.
to Pele. Yeah, yeah.
I get that. Yeah, so Rashford, I think, is going to stay on the left, number 11. Then number 7, I think, Jadon Sancho.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of Garnacho starting a match. I love him as a sub. He, for lack of a better word, he absolutely sucks when he starts a game. He plays better when people are tired and you put him in last minute. Then he's gonna have that confidence. I will say this, and you heard this, you heard it here first, right?
Uh-huh.
I think I've said this to you before, off YouTube. If I haven't, correct me. Facundo Pellistri, right?
Mhm.
Facundo Pellistri, with proper management, if he continues being properly managed by Eric Ten Hag, I think we may be looking at, because of his movements. Basically, he reminds me a bit of Messi.
Yeah.
Just that. He's got the height, he's got the movements, all of that. I think
He's
with
South
proper management, that
American.
kid, he's South American. I mean,
Hmm.
who can forget that?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, he can use both feet. He likes cutting in. So he's.
Mhm.
I think we may be looking at the next Messi. Maybe he may not reach the heights of Messi, but he may
Yeah.
just, yeah, he may be the next big thing. And I feel like, I know that Eric Ten Hag is a huge Anthony guy, and
Hmm.
Anthony is Eric Ten Hag's guy. So there's no way Pelistri is gonna bench Anthony. So I understand that, but I feel like that
Yeah.
kid needs more. That kid needs more game time, and he's 21. He's not that much of a kid, but he's the same age as
Hmm.
Anthony. So he's 21, and with a good run of games and a good, like, you know what I mean, he's gonna improve. I personally feel he's better than Ganacho because of his
Hmm.
experience. First of all, he's older, and he's had 2 loan spells in Alaves, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel like because of that, he's more experienced and he needs to be given more of a chance. Of course, number 10 will be Bruno Fernandes, the guy who's all over the place. The captain himself, the true captain of United.
I still can't believe he's
Uh,
captain, it feels
n-
weird.
you what? I mean, don't get me started with Harry Maguire. Let's not go there. Don't take me to that dark place. No,
Hey.
I don't. I don't want to go there.
Bring back
Um,
Harry, okay?
no, no, no. Yeah, no. I mean, if Harry might lift the trophy on Sunday, I'll be happy for him. That would be a good send off. I'm confident he won't be here next season. Yeah, if he's here, it happens. But yeah, I hope he lifts the trophy on Sunday. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it. Oh, and then because Barcelona are an attacking team, I feel like Wan-Bissaka should start at number 3. At the right, is it number 3? A right fullback?
Number 2?
Yeah, number 2. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so Wan-Bissaka, because he's a way better defender than Dallo, Wan-Bissaka should start. Dallo is good at crossing, but I never get the criticism that Wan-Bissaka gets, right? Wan-Bissaka's primary job is to defend, and he does that job better than anybody in that United team, maybe with the exception of
Hmm.
Lisandro Martinez. And they criticize him just for his forward play. But preventing goals, nobody does it better. That's his
Yeah.
primary job. And it's not like Dallo is a brilliant crosser of the ball. Have you seen like some of the crosses he's made in the past couple of games? I feel
It's
like
like 50-50 with
the
his crosses.
criticism that Wan-Bissaka gets is it's like 50-50. It's not that great. It's not like a Trent Alexander-Arnold or a
Yeah,
Robertson.
yeah. Oh.
He's not. He's not there yet. So I feel like Wan-Bissaka, for me, Wan-Bissaka wins any day, and Wan-Bissaka can play. He's really found
Mm,
his form again. Anyway, so that's about it. I think that's how the team is going to be.
mm.
Yeah, I'm sure the predictions will come towards the end of this
Yeah, yeah,
podcast or this discussion. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's what I think.
Okay. Anyway, it's interesting the points that you bring up with Wan Bissaka,
Yeah,
because like generally I think he's the type of player for whom the positives outweigh the negatives. Like obviously there isn't, especially in this like modern game where you want a high back line and you want to play out from the back, there isn't any player who's going to come with
Yep.
no negatives. Earlier, you were talking about how Araujo is like the best defender right now, probably on form. And even with him, you still find that there are people who say, well, he's still weak when it comes to, passing the ball, switching play, all those kinds of things. And I think with Wan Bissaka, admittedly, when the team isn't set up right, which I thought was a bit of the case last week, actually, you notice that he was finding himself easily isolated by Barcelona's press. And because guys like Gavi are really good at pressing in that area, he was coughing the ball up quite a bit. I did notice that. But it's more of a structural issue, right? When you have a player who you know isn't going to be too good at playing the ball out, then maybe you want your other players who are good at playing the ball out to be much closer to him. So I felt like in that game at Camp Nou, Bruno Fernandes was a bit further away from Wan Bissaka than you could see the support that say maybe Malasia was getting a bit more on the left hand side from his midfielders in particular. Anyway, moving on now from like talking Manchester United, we'll talk Barcelona and how they are most likely to set up. And I think it's ultimately what you ended on actually with the whole Dalot and Wan Bissaka point might end up being a more like a tipping point for the game, how it might go. Because we do know that, like you said, if he wants to be putting in more crosses and things like that into the box, we might see Dalot's play. But at the same time, with how Barcelona is going to set up, it's very unlikely that we're going to see four midfielders. Like unless Xavi just like really has like a some kind of masochist thing going on whereby he's going to set his team up in a way that is going to be punishing for him to watch, because right now we don't really have enough bodies to field four midfielders who can all make the right decisions when pressing and also when counter attacking, which without Gavi and Pedri there, it becomes difficult. So it's very likely we might see a 4-3-3 from Barcelona this time around, which is the formation that Xavi used in our last league match against Cadiz. And if that's the case, then it's very likely we might see someone maybe like Ansu Fati starting down that left hand side. In which case, you probably would want a Wan Bissaka playing in that right back slot more so than you'd want a Dalot who's going to be pushing so high up. You know what I mean? Because then
100%. 100%.
yeah, because you're going to
Yeah.
isolate Varane a bit too much because you have to think about Fati and you have to think about Lewandowski.
Not just
But
that, Wan-Bissaka is a better defender than Dallo. One on one, no one does it better. So
yeah,
Fati
yeah,
will
one
have
v
a
one.
field day against Dallo.
Yeah. That's as far as how Barca might go in front. So we might either see Fati, Lewandowski, and Rafinha, or Ferran, Lewandowski, and Rafinha. The reason why I'm favoring Fati more than Ferran here is, despite the fact that Ferran Torres had a good game, he doesn't ever have a good game when he's playing left wing. They all come when he's playing on the right wing, like they did against Cadiz. And right now, he's not a better player than Rafinha is at the moment. So Rafinha being in this good moment that he is in, you probably want to start him, especially if Luke Shaw is going to be playing left back as well, because you might have a bit more space whenever Luke Shaw tries to move forward and you maybe get the ball off United on a press. So moving on from that front three, we might see a midfield three that will include Frankie De Jong, Kessie, and Busquets. So for Busquets, like I said, as much as I think it's maybe not the best decision to start someone who is just coming back from an injury in such an intense game, I think that Xavi isn't really going to even think twice about it, just simply because of how much of a treasure Busquets can be if he has a good game. All right, he has bad games as well, but if he has a good game and you take your chance by playing him, then he can bring you a lot of good things, because there are very few players who, under pressure, first of all, can make the correct decisions and play the correct balls that are going to not only get you through the press, but also unlock spaces behind the opponents who are pressing you. So that's probably a huge reason why we will see Busquets in this one. Frankie de Jong, of course, is like, that's a no brainer. He's one of the few players who, in that midfield, can actually break through a press by dribbling with the ball. So definitely he'll be there. And as for Kessie, I think that he's going to be important more as a physical presence than anything else because on the ball, he doesn't give you that many more benefits than Sergio Roberto because, both of them don't really look over their shoulder when they receive the ball to see, like, can I turn into space and run forwards? They usually like to play the ball sideways or backwards. So I think he'll be more of a benefit in as far as having a physical presence there and also just protecting the ball because he is pretty good at winning fouls, I've noticed. He knows how to get his body between the
Yeah,
ball and his opponent. So yeah, that he could be very important for, especially like say you get a 1-0 and you're just trying to frustrate the opponent. You need guys like that on the pitch.
that's true.
So moving from there, in goals, of course, it's Marc-Andre ter Stegen. That's like unquestionable. It's not even up for debate right now. I think he's probably one of the best goalkeepers on the planet. So definitely we want him in the pitch. And the back four, though, is where I right now I'm not too sure what to expect from Xavi, to put it that way. And because logic would tell you that, well, Xavi saw what happened last week with both Alonso and Alba, and how Rashford basically just tore them apart whenever he decided that he wanted to. And you'd think that, yeah, logic dictates that Xavi saw that and he's going to make adjustments this time around. He won't make the same mistakes. But when I've been sitting and thinking about it, the mistake we saw him make last week, he made it as well against Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena when we lost 2-0. He made it as well against Inter Milan when we lost 1-0 to San Siro. And he made it again when we drew with Inter Milan at Camp Nou. So it seems to be a thing with him where Marcos Alonso, maybe it's in his contract that he's going to play all these games in Europe. But like whenever it comes time for a big match in Europe, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if Alonso didn't play 3 games in a row. He's just going to magically be in the starting 11, regardless of how well Baude, for example, was playing or how well Christensen was playing. But putting my optimist hat on, all right, I'm going to be optimistic here and say that Xavi is going to be like, you know what, I'm changing my ways, changing the mistakes. And he says he's going to start with,
sounds like a line from a gospel song.
yeah, it does. Yeah, if he comes and finally says that he's not going to torture Kool-Aid or, feed into his like, anyway, let me stop the masochist thing. If he says he's going to do the right thing, then we should see the backline that has served Barcelona very well in the big matches that we played, when we beat Real Madrid, when we beat Atletico Madrid, all these big guys, when we did actually play well and beat them, we had Baude, we had Araujo, we had Christensen, and we had Kunde playing in that back four. And in particular, with Araujo at centre back and Kunde at right back. Now, of course, those two can switch. We've seen it happen before to great effects. In our Classicos, it does that to do with Vinicius. But I think with Manchester United, it's a bit different because Rashford could play through the middle or out wide. So, he's just going to end up messing with your team chemistry. So it's better you just play everybody in the positions that they should be playing. And I think that if Xavi does that, and if the defense does have a good day, then I think we might see a different match than we saw last week. Actually, I think we should see a different match than we saw last week because, like you pointed out already, we'll see a stronger defensive setup from Man United with people like Luke Shaw playing at left back instead of at centre back. With Lisandro Martinez and all the quality that he has, playing there next to Varane. And if, we start with Wan Bissaka as well on the right, then we should see two very stable defenses. And the goals this time might not come about because of errors like we saw last time around, right? Where like as entertaining as the match
Yeah,
was, there were like some pretty obvious errors which these guys made, which felt like they could have done better.
that's true. Yeah. I was so happy. Last week, right?
Hmm.
Going into the game, right? I know United have been on a fantastic run domestically, um, but when it comes to Barca, I panic because United have never been good against Barca. From the time we met, from the time Barcelona got maybe like Guardiola, we've
Yeah.
never like been good. So for me, it was quite encouraging to see how far the team has come. Um, how that we went toe to toe with Barcelona,
Hmm.
like one of the best possession based football teams in the world. We went toe to toe with them, and we were not completely useless. And also, just touching a bit on Barcelona, I feel like the players that I'm scared of, like the threats, the ones that
Hmm.
are capable of hurting United,
Yeah.
the elephant in the room, Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Lewandowski is going to is man. That guy, if you don't mark him, that guy is going to kill us.
Hmm.
Then there is this guy. What's his name? Frankie De Jong. I feel like he'll receive a bit of stick from the United faithfuls
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. um, yeah, but from my experience watching that guy, he plays well under pressure anyway. So De Jong can hurt us as
Mm.
well. And if Marcus Alonso starts and he gets a free kick, I am scared. Yeah, I am really scared. You know that for those who don't know Marcus Alonso, he's a football player who looks like a tennis player. So
Really,
he's got
I
one of the
actually
best
think
left
he
feet.
looks like a ballerina. That's what I've always thought of him, like a male ballerina.
Nah, he's a
Like,
tennis player, French Open finalist. Chiseled features of a French Open finalist. That guy. You'd think he's a French Open finalist, but yeah, even a ballerina that works fine. But he's got one of the best left feet in the world. Like that guy. I watched him at Chelsea. Ask
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tottenham.
No, I
Yeah.
remember
So
one
yeah,
match as
I think
well between Barca and Chelsea is where he got the free kick and he came within inches of scoring. He just came off like the angle of the
guy.
post.
Ah, my goodness, that guy's left foot is just. I mean, even against like even the previous game,
Hmm.
when you got the free kick, I said my prayers.
You weren't breathing.
No. you know, I'm more worried about Alonso standing behind a free kick than De Bruyne. That's how bad. That's how good. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's
That's how.
crazy.
That guy. So yeah, that guy can hurt us. I think apart from that, Gavi and Pedri are not playing, right?
Yeah, they're not. Gavi is suspended. Pedri is out until like mid March, something like that.
Okay, so yeah, I think those are the. Oh, even Rafinha, that left foot as well. So these players with the left foot, these are the ones I'm worried about. But yeah,
It's the left
but yeah,
footers, huh?
I think that's about it. Is these guys, man? I don't know what medicine they have in their feet, man. Yeah, but
Right.
that's about because even like the Barcelona equalizer, right? That
Yeah.
was a Rafinha left foot.
Yeah, it was.
And even moments after, moments after United equalized, Rafinha almost you saw
That
that
swivel
fantastic
volley.
save. But oh my goodness!
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's safe from okay, I remember that, yeah.
No, I am. Yeah, so those are the players I'm worried about. No free kicks. Thankfully we don't have one guy. Like one guy in the United team who, like, when he has the ball, everybody panics. He's Fred.
Hmm.
you know, it's Fred,
Because you don't know
yeah,
what to do
Fred
with
is
it.
like he's got a twin brother. One
Uh
he's gonna have like a very bad game, and then the next game is gonna have an excellent game. You think there's two different people playing. You know, the guy can't pass further than 10 yards. But his strength is defending. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, because of that, he tends to foul.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot. Him and McTominay love. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
make
yeah.
unnecessary fouls in the wrong areas. I'll give you an example. McTominay against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea were being
Yeah,
outplayed, and here comes Captain Scott and drops the guy in the 18.
yeah. gives them a
Yeah,
penalty for
that
free.
worries me
Yeah.
about those guys. Like,
Oh man, like
for free.
we had a player like that
Yeah.
at Barcelona. In fact, I don't know why I'm saying had. He's still our player. He's at Tottenham though. One Clement Longley. My goodness.
Oh, long way.
Longley makes penalties where you don't even see them coming. It's crazy. I don't know what goes through some of these players' minds sometimes, you know.
My friend always says that the brain power of certain certain players is not that strong. They make silly decisions. Foul someone. They've got an Alonso who's got a fantastic left foot, and then
Mhm.
you even foul him on the right side.
Right on the
So that he
edge of the
scores
box.
nicely. So that he scores
Give him
nicely.
the right angle.
Oh my goodness, man, that shocks me, man. Like such decision making.
Well, then, like it's good news for you. He's not going to start. Yeah, it's going to be Sabitzer. No.
Well, I hope it's Sabitzer. I hope. I really hope it's Sabitzer. Let's see. I just want to see how he's going to play with Casemiro. I just want to see how the team will play, how the team is going to gel with
Mhm.
Casemiro and him in midfield. I
Okay.
think he's more of he's more defensive than Christian Eriksen,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think there's
Definitely.
more stability as far as defense is concerned, and that will give Bruno the freedom to do whatever he does up there.
Yeah, and I think like Bruno has got enough creativity for the two of them anyway. So
That's
like
true. That's true.
it
Yeah,
should balance out like that. Okay.
that's true.
So then it's time now to get to the business of predictions, Mr. Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah. So because United are the home team, you get to go first. So give us your prediction. How do you see this one
Thank you.
playing out?
Okay, so just a bit of backstory. I stopped being unrealistic. I stopped being that unrealistic Man United fan from the time we got David Moyes. I think that season was a very
Humbling.
uh, humbling, traumatic,
Hmm.
frustrating,
Yeah.
season, and it was a time to mature. Not I always put principle over fanaticism, and
Hmm.
in as much as yes, I am optimistic because we have the 12th man at Old Trafford. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm still going to be realistic. It's not going to be a breeze. It's not going to
Hmm.
be a stroll in the park. I feel like it's going to be a very tight game. It can go either way,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go for a 2-1 United. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting
it
thoughts.
can go either way.
Yeah, it can
It
go.
can
No,
go
like
either way.
it's interesting
Yeah,
because I was roughly thinking of the same kind of scoreline. Should Xavi start, like I had said, our preferred backline, and if everybody performs to the level that we have seen them perform at, I was thinking that it's a kind of match where Barcelona can maybe squeeze out a 2-1 win away from home, or even a 1-0. Like Xavi has been dropping 1-0s all over the place, like
yeah.
God knows what.
With eighty
So
percent ball possession.
yeah,
Mm,
and with playing like Catenaccio style defending throughout the last 10 minutes, I've been calling Xavi the Tiki Taka Simeone recently. Like that's really what what he's been specializing in. He's getting the one. Last season
yeah,
we got used to so many 4-0s, 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 but yeah, much like you had that humbling season under Moyes, mine came in that 8-2 season, right? Like when you see your team lose 8-2 in 90 minutes, you look in the mirror and you don't look in the mirror at yourself, you look in the mirror at your team. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And say, okay, what are these guys really capable of? And like since then, like, yeah, there's been a huge dose of realism going into these things. And like right now, it's so much so to it maybe I would say it emphasizes how much of a missed opportunity last week was in how Xavi decided to set his team up because this week you're facing a Manchester United team that's even stronger than it was last week. So because of that, this is a match which I think Manchester United are going to come into as favorites, and it's one of those games which will come down to maybe one of those calls by the referee which he looks at the Old Trafford crowd and they're like, that's a penalty. And he says, yes, that's a penalty. And like, that's how we
yeah,
pack our bags. And also,
yeah.
just generally, I don't trust this Barcelona team in big pressure moments quite yet. Like, we've been able to get big wins against Real Madrid, sure, but if you look at the context of the pressure that was on us in those games, it's less than the pressure that was on us against Inter Milan, for example, or against Bayern. And in those games, we failed those tests. So, like, right now, I don't really trust this team. Sorry to sound like a pessimist, but like I said, optimistically, I think this is the type of game where we get away with a win despite not being the better team. But it doesn't surprise me at all if we kind of flake here and Manchester United gets the win by playing significantly better than us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very level-headed prediction. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
guessing it's good to see that we've both matured, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm.
we took two different routes, but we both got to the same
Yeah, that's the
destination.
same point. Yeah.
Okay. So that's basically that, man. We've done it, man. By the way, did you know
Ah,
you are the first ever guest on this channel?
no, I feel privileged, man. Like, thank you for. I didn't know that. I really. Oh no,
Yeah.
well,
I
yes.
think I think you deserve a round of applause, which when
Thank
my
you.
internet behaves, it's going to
Mm,
come through, all right? It's
thank
loading.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
just
sure.
keep
Like,
stalling until it loads.
yeah. No, thank you, man. No, it's okay,
any day
man.
this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
any
go ahead.
day. And then, yeah, I feel like, yeah, thanks for having me, man. Like, it's always good to catch up with an old friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's always good. And also, like, we both love football, and
Mm-hmm.
well, both content creators. By the way, let me just
Yeah.
do one thing that the
There
host
it.
always does. If you're new to this channel, please
Mhm.
hit that like button and subscribe. I
Thank
am
you.
a Manchester United fan, but I'm subscribed to the channel. That should tell you something about the content on this channel. It's top notch. So please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
That's
Well.
the first and last time you hear a Manchester United fan promoting a Barcelona YouTube page.
So yeah,
Yes.
hey guys, you've heard the gospel of BlaugranaEverything as preached by Daniel. Um, do feel free to join the community,
Mhm.
and I'll give you the last word, Daniel. Like the last word. Remind them again where to find you. Then
Okay.
you just close up.
Sure. Yeah. So ZombieKlassic on YouTube, just ZombieKlassic, one word. On Classic, replace that first C with a K. So one word, ZombieKlassic. You'll find all the awesome gaming content, mostly Mortal Kombat. And on Twitter, ZombieKlassic, @ZombieKlassic, no space as well. I'm sure the host is gonna put the link in the description below, right?
Yes, yes.
Just make sure you support the team, and we'll see you on the flip side.
All right. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. And right now we're going to now go and watch that Madrid Liverpool game, which I'm guessing will be supporting opposite teams here. You being a United fan wanting to see Liverpool lose, and me wanting to see Madrid
We
lose.
don't talk about Liverpool.
Liverpool is Bruno here, huh? We don't talk about.
Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno, man. Like, yeah.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you
All right,
for
man.
tuning in.
Take
Have a
it
great
easy,
day.
man. Thanks for having me.
All right. And Forza Barca.